Hey, yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk, guys. Well, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in this episode of World of Tanks. And we have APA Woody here. APA Woody is on Red Shard. You may notice that a guy named Guido is in his mana core right next to APA Woody. So I got this replay from Woody, and then as I was watching it, I noticed I was in it. And then I started to remember the replay, started to remember the game. It was about a week ago, maybe, or two at this point. And and then I saw the chat, and then I really started to remember the replay. This was during the BB Invasion Dynasty Wars. And there were a lot of not great players playing Tier 10, using their rentals. It's not exactly why I'm going to feature this one. I'm going to show you my game a little while later. It's actually a pretty decent game. We have a pretty good comeback, a little bit of teamwork, all that good stuff. So Woody had sent this to me. And I don't know if I don't recall on the note whether he said that I was in the game, but I think he did. But as I was watching it, it kind of occurred to me that it would be an interesting one to talk about and to show, because I don't actually, I do not comport myself as I would have liked to have done. And I think it's instructive because it is easy to kind of get tilted by the game and then to give in to your I don't know, worse inclinations. Worse inclinations. As a community contributor, I try not to do that. And for the last couple of years, I've been really pretty good at it. I will say that as I started to get good at the game, fairly toxic as far as getting on people's cases. Not necessarily with the language, but just kind of getting on people. And it's something I've tried to get away from, obviously. As a CC, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be doing it anyway. But, it's always a journey, isn't it? And this one, I don't do so good at that because now we're going to talk about reasons and excuses. I have no excuse. The reasons were that I was pretty tilted at this point. I remember that because I went and started playing my scouts. So I grabbed the scouts. That's how I kind of blow off steam if I'm doing poorly at the game, rather than just turn it off, which is another option. And I remember going very defensive because I was just getting absolutely wiped out. The BB invasion was in its full glory, if you will. And the teams were just, it was insane. The things that were going on, the just insane. It was absolutely insane. So anyway, wah. So I started playing my scouts, and I remember this one in particular because pretty much as soon as the game kicked off, somebody started typing and talking, and I took it, I think, probably the wrong way. So we're going to get going. Enough of the preliminaries. You're going to see the typing. That's why I'm actually having you watch the countdown, because I don't remember when the first thing comes in. So we'll talk about it as we go. We just got to look down the bottom left where the chat is. I have come into this myself. We got APA Woody. I'm going to head off over to the east side, and APA is going to go to the middle. So we'll watch his replay first because there's some good stuff in this thing that he does with the old UDES 15/16. This is an all tier 10 battle. There I go with Monty and the big grin, and I'm going to head over that way. You can see we got multiple BBs in the game, so just watch the chat down there as it starts to develop. A little bit of bumper cars right there as we head out. Another funny thing about this video is I actually completely did this video once already, and I had my mic on mute. That was yesterday. I was so frustrated at that point because I thought I had a pretty decent product that I just turned everything off and left. I was actually trying to stream yesterday as well, so I already know that Manticore will do a lot in this game. Now, I'm already up in a bush, and my immediate reaction, because I'm on tilt, and because I give in to my worst inclinations at this point, is that he's mocking me, that he was flipping me crap. So that was the immediate thing that I thought. So I'm sitting there for a while. I don't think I actually saw it initially. You know how you can hit enter and it will bring up the chat again? And then I saw it and I said, he won't? Why? So I'm just being a pure smartass at that point. Because sometimes I'm kind of curious what they'll come up with. You, bro, ha ha ha. Which, again, I took in the negative light, unfortunately. And really, at the end of the day, my advice has always been, and that's why I write down, am I bad? Being, again, a smart arse. Which is kind of my, if I really start to get into this, if somebody's really on my case, that's usually what I ask. I don't run XVM. your win 8 tells everything. So at that point, I'm really thinking he's getting on my case at that point. Woody says, nice job, good spots. Hey, if you're going to type, so then I say, you are good. Okay, so that's me again being a smart ass. Assuming he's probably got worse stats than me, which is a pretty good assumption in most games. There's plenty of better players, but rarely do I run into them, not as often as I run into. So I say, please carry us, my hero. Okay, so there you go. I just spent, where are we? 12:48. The first 2 minutes, basically going to a bush and yapping at some guy who's actually, at the end of the day, says there was no sarcasm. Was probably not being as negative as I thought he was. Not being as negative as I thought he was. So APA does a nice job of putting a thump on the EBR. He's working the middle. The east side is doing okay. We'll see my replay, but they eventually lose that over there. Got the FV way in the back, keeping guys from coming around. The Bat Chat actually makes a move, and he's going to kind of pay for that. Little bounce off the other 15-16, unfortunately. I don't think the Bat Chat lasts much longer in there. He's trying to get away. And APA's work in the middle. Look how he's using the bush here. That's a really nice job. I've never actually used this bush, so I'm going to put that into my bag of tricks right there. It is a little bit exposed to people coming up on the ridge line, but it looks like nobody's been surfing there. And the lights or mediums have not gone there. Are there any lights left? No, there's only the EBR. So not a bad move, actually. With another light, you might want to be careful here, because if the lights are surfing that middle ridge, not the one in front of APA, but the one to the right, you can get spotted goofing around right here, but it looks like there's nobody over there, so he's pretty much free to move back and forth for the moment. Be really nice to take the EBR out. There's still a scrum going on over on the west side. And I'm still sitting in the bush taking pot shots at people. I think that was actually my damage, I want to say. I just took a shot. I wonder if I was the one. We'll look at my replay. I might have been the one that actually hit that leopard, and APA got the spotting. So he's already up to 2,200 damage and 397 spotting. Trying to find that guy. I like that how he kind of moves the cursor around a little bit, the pipper. Seeing if you can get a light on that. That's a good technique. See if you have a shot right there. He's kind of doing it again, that time in third person. EBR is still raging around. We've got a patent and a leopard up on that hill, and that's pretty typical of this map for some mediums to kind of be, or TDs to be staring at each other across that hilltop right there. So Woody's going to move around. So as far as the chat thing goes, I think it's important to sometimes, get a reality check. We're going to fail at times to do the things that we want to do, or to comport ourselves the way we want to. The key is, let's get this guy dead. First, I'll stop talking. Yes. Nice. All right, an angel got its wings. So we're going to fail. I like this circle. I actually take part in this a little bit. I just killed the guy that tried to come up and over. This is a great circle right here. They're both going to miss, or there's a bounce and a miss. So APA gets away with a miss because the other guy misses him, and now they're raging around each other. That's great. Oh, and runs into a dead tank, which slows him down and makes him easier to hit than the... Oh, no, the Fatten tries to get in there. I'm wondering, I'm not really sure which one reloads quicker. Maybe he was ammo racked, or his loader was dead or something. I kind of expected APA to lose that, but he actually won it. So like I said, sometimes we fail to comport ourselves the way we want to. And while I don't think that was a especially gross or egregious event right there, it's not the way I like to do it. And I think from a gameplay standpoint, here comes the whiner coming across there back to the middle in his Manicore. I think at the end of the day, when we're playing the game, if you're typing, you're not doing what you should be doing. And I see that a lot, and I comment on it a lot. I'll spit it out. So it irritates me when I end up doing it myself. And it's easy to get tilted sometimes in the game, and there's a lot better ways to deal with it than getting after somebody in the game or chasing them into garage. I will say one thing. That is one thing I do not do. I don't know if I have ever sent a nasty gram initiated a nastygram in the garage. That's one thing I've been able to not do in my WOT career, is take the time to give somebody heck in the garage. So here comes the survivors of the battle in the East. Got the FV coming in. I thought APA, you held your shot when you really didn't need to on a couple times here, but I can see how you're worried about being spotted potentially. I don't know, I might have moved back a bit and tried to get a little bit closer to the edge. This thing has really good gun depression, so I feel like maybe back in this bush back here, you'd have had some shots, better cover. So be quite honest, I'm not exactly sure why you're this close. Unless you were worried about maybe the missing WZ, and that might have been it. Worried about him maybe showing up behind you and lighting you because you're behind the bush. That's possible as well. So I'm going to meta flex in my mana core back here. We got the Sturv, who was actually working for shots. I was a bit concerned during the game, as I recall, where he was. But he does have some shots in here. Again, potential shots for you, but yeah, 3 guns and you're a one-shot here. Thought maybe you could have taken a shot on him and then dove down into the middle. But not bad. Then we're trying to get that. There we go. Oh, unfortunately into the side armor right there. And here comes the FE. We're going to put a little shot. There we go. Uh-oh. And bonk. Good news is it bounces. Or it was a crit, no damage, I guess. It looks like it got your spotting slit there. So the 140's pushing in. The FE's trying. Looks like we miss on that or bounce. FE takes a hit. The 140 goes down. The arty hits you but doesn't kill you, thank goodness. And then I'm going to roll in here in my mana core. The Sturv has moved around. You can see him back behind there. And that allows me to come in there and finish off the FV once the Sturv hit it. As I was pushing in there, I saw 400, over 400 hit points. And then, of course, the Churchill says, "Ha, told you." So that was my indication as I watched this replay that maybe he wasn't really getting on my case and more than likely was just making a general comment about things at the beginning of the game. Huge benefit for us that the WZ-111 5A was actually AFK. And that goes back to what I mentioned earlier about the BB invasion, because he is indeed a BB. Somebody just botting or phone rang or I don't know what. We'll talk about my replay in a minute, but I'm headed up to the north trying to look for him. That really sucked. Woody gets a bounce off a bloody GW100. That is an interesting thing about that tank. It's not quite E100 levels, but the armor does bounce if you hit the hole. So there we go. Woody's going to hang out here. The mana core and the Sturv go after the WZ. He finds, or he sees the lit WZ, and now he's pushing up here to maybe try to get a shot. Sturv's having a field day, as he's the only one in position right now. Woody drives up on a rock. I bring the mana core in looking for some damage. And he's just about dead. I don't remember who gets the kill. I want to say maybe it's Woody. There we go. It is Woody. Nicely done. Last little bit of damage, 434. So he ends up with 3,971, 867 assists. Let's go ahead and look at my replay. All right, I got rid of some of the preliminaries. There's the already know, he'll do a lot in the game, blah, blah. It catches up on the replay, so you're going to see all that chat come back up. I think it's really important, like a little bit of self-critique, a little bit of self-awareness. It's a thing I talk about a lot on the channel, so I think it's important to show it in my own gameplay, where mistakes are made, not just gameplay mistakes, which I think I show plenty of because I have a lot of them. I seem to generate those at will, pretty much. But even just the comportment during the game, the way you interact with the players, all of that kind of thing. It's important to realize that not everybody gets it right every time. But if you're looking at that iterative improvement and you can actually have a little bit of self-awareness, if you can do that, I mean, obviously in life it's important. We're just talking about a pixel tank game. But if you can do that in the game, then that's really going to help you with your mindset on improving in the game. And I think it also is going to help you enjoy the game as well, because allowing the game to get you so mad that that vein starts to bulge on your forehead, or you start typing and responding to people, taking things out of context, or getting upset at things you shouldn't. That's all that's going to do is detract from how you enjoy the game. So the more you can avoid that, the better. So we got the scrum over here. We actually had a pretty good force, and I was kind of watching this go down as I remember in this game, and I'm just sitting here wondering, all right, when can I get back in there and start getting on some of these guys? I was looking for an opportunity, but we had the EBR raging around. There he is, right there. He's going to go in towards the middle, and Woody's going to get those shots on him, the first couple. So the EBR is still running around. I'm not going to win a fight against him. I see the bat chat moving through, and that's the first time I went, okay, maybe I can support this bat chat. So I'm thinking about it. Then I see the EBR doing this. I'm like, all right, can I get a shot on that guy? Watching the bat chat on the mini map, I'm thinking, all right, I think I will. And all of a sudden, boom, the FV gets lit up. Yeah, I did get shot. That is my damage on that guy right there. I think Woody actually got that assist, or maybe that was earlier on the Leopard. I don't remember. So there's the bat chat. He loses a bunch of hit points. Unfortunately, the FV is back there, so I really felt like I couldn't do it. But I did want to try to help, so I came in here. I'm like, all right, let me try to assassinate the ST1 at least. There we go. Dodge down, get away from the guys down there. And I really thought we'd kind of broken this one open. I said, all right. Ugh. And then I get hammered by the 123. I was right in the midst of trying to slide around, and he just nails me. Then I thought, well, I'll stick in here, and then I thought, no, that's not a great idea. There's artillery. Don't really need to be dueling with a 110E3 very long. He's not coming around the corner, so we'll just back out of this thing and look for another opportunity. And that's kind of what you've got to do with this tank. Would have loved to have managed that without getting hit by the 110E3. That really did suck. So I'll just move back to the bush. There we go. Got the Leopard up there. Maybe that might have been the one where I got the assist right there. I think it was actually. Or Woody got the assist and I got the shot. So Leopard backs off. EBR is still messing around the middle. We're about to have the ring around the Rosie. Took a shot at him but didn't get him. EBR gets hit. The STB is making a move. Really would have loved to have reloaded in time to shoot that guy. That's the best place to shoot, or the best time to shoot the wheel tanks, is when there's little line of sight right or left and it's going straight away or coming at you. Obviously, then it's easier. You don't have as much lead fire that you're going to need on the fast wheeled tanks, which is hard to judge because very few tanks go that fast. And if you've been playing for a while, you've got a kind of general idea of how much lead fire you need for the speeds of tanks. But these things are so much faster, I find myself constantly messing up the lead required. So now again, I'm thinking about, well, we're losing over here. How did we go from where we were to losing? And then this thing comes up. We got Woody. You can see him moving across. There goes the EBR. They push in and kill off the STB-1. Little arty stun slows him down a bit. I was like, oh, man. I was hoping he would come out of there, but he was starting to turn. In any event, Woody gets him. There's the Leopard. We get rid of him, thank goodness. And now Woody is free to circle the old Padden. Again, that long reload on the Manicore is quite painful in situations like that. Just couldn't quite get it in there. And I bounce off the side. That would have been great for Woody. Probably could have taken that guy down. I have a 390 Alpha. He's at 300 something hit points. But good news is Woody gets him taken down. And all of a sudden now I'm looking at this going, well, geez, now there's 3 guys with lots of hit points. The FV has moved up, so I'm just going to bail out of this thing. Oh, I forgot. I'm actually going to go over here and sneak a shot onto this dude. Thank goodness he wasn't really paying attention. Almost 400 damage. Slight high roll on that guy, on the FV, and I'll bail out. And this is the part where I come back to the middle and we try to take on the 3 tanks that are pushing, which we thought was going to be 4 at some point. Like I said, the WZ was AFK, which we did not know. I should have crossed a little bit to the right. I was really worried that the object was going to charge in so hard that he wouldn't be too far behind me. And if I started up that hill without going slightly to the left, using some of these buildings as cover. If I'd have gone slightly to the right, then I was worried that he might light me up. Good news is he goes over that way to the red line. I'll snap a shot, don't quite get him. And now it's a problem. Now I'm starting to get low on ammo with the Manicore, which is one of the big problems with this tank. Could really use 4 to 6 shells added to it, and it absolutely needs a third crew member added to it. So I see these guys coming in. We're going to try to get one on him. There we go. We loosen him up a bit. I go forward because I didn't feel like going backwards slowly was the way to do that. I figured I was probably going to get spotted, and going slowly backwards may have got me shot at a couple times. By moving forward and then right and going back over the edge, I'm going to be exposed less than had I just backed up. A bit lucky right there, and a nice high roll at 431. Wanted to soften him up a little bit as he came in, because what I didn't want him to do is get in there freely and start getting after our low hit point T-57 and our UDES, which I think is obviously what he wanted to do. Get in there, get them busy, and then let the other two come in. The object really screwed around quite a bit. I was glad that he did not have a reload right there. I was also glad that for some reason the 140 decided to not come take me down. They're just going after the T-57. I think the worry for them at that point was, all right, that's an autoloader. We cannot let him get reloaded. But unfortunately for them, he did, because he's hammering the 140. They get him, but I'm able to come back around behind them and get a shot, take out the 140. The Sturv's going to soften up the FV, like we saw in the other replay with a little auto aim. Nice big billboard side, boom. And now I'm worried about the artillery, so I'm going to try to turtle up a bit, at least get on the back slope. I was hoping to maybe trick him into trying to lead fire me right there and miss. But I don't know where he is on a reload. I don't recall when the last shot came in there. I know he took a shot at Woody, so that was a while ago. So we'll get in there. I probably didn't wait long enough. I may not have been dark by the time I went out. Then I knocked down some fencing. So one thing you can do there as an artillery player, or if you're watching somebody come out from behind cover and you're a sniper of some kind, is once you see them moving in that direction, kind of watch around. And if things get knocked down, you get another better idea of where that guy is. I was looking for the artillery. Obviously, for whatever reason, it decided to blitz up the middle. I think probably because he realized the WZ was AFK more than likely and just decided to go after it. I nearly wiped myself out on that rock. There we go. Yeah, Woody is not happy about the bounce on the RNG. That's the WoW RNG comment. And now I'm going to run in here and see if I can't get a little bit more damage. Sturv's nicely set up, just blapping away at that guy. So come in here and try to sneak one in. There we go. Got a 369 on that. Move around to the back, but unfortunately I will not reload in time because APA has moved up. And boom, down goes the AFK WZ-111. 2,442 for me, 656 assists and 5 kills, mostly on cleanup, which is kind of what this little assassin tank is all about. Get it into the mid to late game where it can do things and finish off near deads and move around quickly to the places it needs to be. So, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think down below. I thought it was kind of instructive and interesting. Fortunately, it is a very rare thing for me these days for me to get into that kind of back and forth with anybody. You know, it wasn't that bad, but a little apology to, who was that guy? It was, oh, now I can't remember. He was one of the WZs, right? Boy, I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, he's, I think he's anonymous in this. I don't remember which one it was. Anyway, whoever it was, sorry. I apologize for getting on your case and being a bit of a jerk. Reasons and excuses. I have no excuses. There's a million reasons that we do things. There are very few excuses that absolve us from responsibility. So there you have it. A little bit of ethical tanking by Guido. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of curious. Does anybody else engage in text battle while they're doing their battle? I think there's a lot less now that there's not global chat. I kind of miss global chat. I didn't like it that they took it away, but I do understand why, and I know a lot of people are just as happy that it's gone. And I suppose that it does decrease a lot of that kind of thing because there's more back and forth against the other team usually than your own team. So anyway, let me know what you think. That's all I've got. We will see you.